This is it, the $5 trillion shockwave that could send crypto into hyperdrive. If you want to understand how this bombshell changes everything, you're in the right place. Right now, the biggest wave of new money, wild policy shifts, and political chaos are all hitting crypto at the same time. From historic ETF inflows to Washington's latest $5 trillion bombshell, every part of the financial system is pumping fresh fuel into this cycle. The window to front-run this surge is closing fast. If you want to catch the next wave of explosive move instead of just watching the charts, this is your shot. Let's break down exactly what's happening and why the biggest gains are still ahead for those paying attention. Crypto headlines are spreading at the speed of memes. They're everywhere, it's hard to keep up, but we do our best on this channel. ETFs, they're breaking records. Congress is dropping multi-trillion-dollar bombs, trillion with a T. The dollar is sliding like it's getting replaced. This is the regime change window. The next 60 days could mint new millionaires or turn complacent into bag holders. I'm here to walk you through what's actually happening in real time before everyone else wakes up. Because as you guys have seen, everyone else has been sleeping except for you. Guys, this is an amazing episode. Very excited to make it. Markets are pumping. And at the end, I'm gonna give you a 4-step macro checklist to make sure that you guys stay ahead of everyone else in this market. So you're gonna wanna watch until the end. Just in the past 24 hours, the US Senate pushed the big, beautiful bill over the line, injecting, get this, $3.3 trillion into the deficit, raising the debt ceiling by $5 trillion and setting the stage for US debt to cross $42 trillion. The controversial bill passed with a tie-breaking vote from Vice President J.D. Vance, adding even more fiscal uncertainty into the mix. That move pushes the dollar's purchasing power lower and unleashes a wave of demand for inflation hedges. So yes, that means stocks, commodities, and risk assets like Bitcoin and our precious bags are about to get sent much higher. At the same time, the SEC gave the green light to the first multi-asset crypto ETF and confirmed the first Solana staking ETF will begin trading today. Meanwhile, banking agencies, the Department of Labor, the FDIC, and the OCC, the Office of the Comptroller, have all shifted policy, making it easier than ever for banks and retirement funds to engage with crypto. Crypto enforcement units are now defunded or restructured. The regulatory machine that used to create a wall of worry is rapidly dissolving. Polymarket prediction odds currently show the Stablecoin Genius Act at an 89% chance of passing this year. We know it's dang near 100, reflecting market-wide conviction that pro-crypto regulation is coming fast. Zoom out and follow the money. The big, beautiful bill creates an immediate supercharged liquidity engine. With $5 trillion in new borrowing power, the US Treasury will issue massive new walls of debt, which are snapped up by investors, stablecoin issuers, foreign governments, and pension funds. Whenever bond demand lags or interest rates rise, the Fed can absorb the supply by using quantitative easing. Every time this happens, the money supply expands and liquidity flows through the economy. Recent research shows M2 could expand by as much as 8.6% over a few years. And yes, that means that the dollars you're holding onto today will likely lose purchasing power. This is why when I made that video a few weeks ago on me converting the last of my dollars into ETH, made a lot of sense. These dollars end up in the hands of government contractors, employees, and bondholders, and then they move into the broader financial system. That's what we want to see. Gold has already hit all-time highs in every major currency, and the DXY shows a dollar down over 10% for the first half of 2025. When the dollar goes weaker, everything paired to the dollar go higher. This is marking the weakest start for the greenback in over 50 years, and it's only going to get worse for the dollar as this debt ceiling increases. As a result, Bitcoin and stock indices have begun breaking new highs as capital seeks inflation protection. And guys, most of this, if you watch the channel regularly, should not be caught off by this. You shouldn't be caught off by the fact that we're at $109,000 right now for Bitcoin, that the floor has been so resilient, that the bid for Bitcoin is so huge. This is why we make these videos 5 days a week, to keep you guys informed so you can get ahead of the curve, right? If you watch the channel regularly, you know we've been prepared for this moment. And in my opinion, I mean, it's not going to go up in a straight line, but to me, the writing is on the wall. So if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure that you do that so you can also stay in tune with everything that's going on and be ahead of the curve like everyone who is regular viewers of the channel. The regulatory landscape is changing in real time. The Trump administration and its allies in Congress are pushing deregulation across every relevant agency. I know this. I'm speaking with them as we speak. It is so refreshing to see this. The Brookings Institute confirms that crypto-focused units in federal enforcement agencies, once used to clamp down on the sector, are now being restructured or defunded. Even better. See ya, Gensler. See ya, really aggressive IRS, all these guys, right? The Fed, the OCC, the FDIC are rolling back restrictions, actively encouraging banks to build on crypto infrastructure. The Department of Labor just days ago rescinded all prior warnings about crypto risk and retirement plans. Yes, right? Imagine all these pensions and 401ks going into Bitcoin, clearing the path for 401k and pension allocations. These actions are the mechanics that unleash institutional capital. Polymarket data gives the Stablecoin Genius Act nearly 90% of odds of passing this year, showing that market participants see regulatory clarity arriving soon. The enforcement climate continues to soften, with units in the DOJ and banking regulators now actively supporting crypto integration. Think about that for a minute. It's a wild, wild shift from just 6 months ago. It's incredible to see. Let me just show you guys a little bit of a picture in the market right now. This is absolutely wild to see this. Look at this market. We've got Bitcoin at 109,500. We got ETH up 5.3% over the past 24 hours at 25.53. And if you go down here, altcoins are also starting to push even harder than Bitcoin. Could this be altcoin season warming up? I think this is the beginning of altcoin season right here. Absolutely crazy to see this green in the charts today. But if you've been watching, you also know where this is coming from. And of course, the Bitcoin accumulation strategy here is doing extremely well. You can see right now I've got over 1.0476 Bitcoin in my account, starting with just one Bitcoin. Guys, when Bitcoin goes to $1 million, this is almost $50,000 I've made just in the past few months running this strategy. Absolutely a game changer versus just holding Bitcoin in cold storage. Here, it's getting put to work for me. So if you guys are interested in that, there's a link in the description below. We also have massive ETF inflows. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I just wanted to show you guys the charts right now. Just constant days, a couple days of outflows, but those are small days by comparison. Bitcoin ETF flows, these guys. So there's a little bit of a sell-off here yesterday, and people might, if you see anyone complaining about this, I'll show you exactly why this is happening. Because yesterday, this CME annualized basis that we talk about a lot, the CME futures carry trade, has unwound, right? But it wasn't super big to begin with anyway. So don't let this fool you. If anyone says, oh, but there was $342 million in outflows yesterday. Yes, this is arbitrage traders taking profit, but this is, I feel sorry for them. I mean, but these are hedge funds, right? This is the trade that they're unwinding. So don't let that throw you off guard at all. You see today, even with yesterday, the sell-off, massive pumps today. Let that get out of the way. They've just been selling out a little bit. Probably this is what's been holding down the price quite a bit as well, as we talked about with Joe McCann on the interview last week. If you haven't seen that, check it out. So about this ETF narrative, it has reached complete escape velocity. In the final week of June, US spot ETFs, Bitcoin, drew $2.2 billion in net inflows, with BlackRock's Bybit alone pulling in $1.3 billion. These numbers are just mind-blowing to me. Someone who's been in the space for so long, this is crazy, right? For June, the total net inflows exceeded $4.4 billion. And Bybit, now the leading institutional gateway, ranks above major S&P 500 and gold ETFs in net inflows for the year. This is a clear sign that Bitcoin and crypto are what the big players are laser focused on right now. And this is so great because in the bear market, everyone who was bullish on crypto the year before, all the all-in podcast guys and everyone else, they were all saying, they just were quiet about crypto. But you guys have been watching the channel, all the good news perpetually. We know that this is leading up to what we're seeing right now. And this is just the very beginning, the appetizer for the main course, the Michelin star, 3-star, delicious meal that's about to be served up to us on a silver platter, actually an orange platter, very, very, very soon. Wall Street has officially been orange pilled. Meanwhile, Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust has stabilized, and other top funds like Fidelity and ARK are growing their inflow streaks. The SEC just approved the first US multi-asset ETF, like an index, offering combined exposure to Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Cardano. The Solana staking ETF is now trading for the first time. US investors can earn crypto-denominated yield in a regulated product. This is just wild. This is only accelerating. It's not slowing down. Don't you see? This is not just like Bitcoin and ETH ETFs anymore. The whole crypto is taking over Wall Street. Behind the scenes, the SEC issued new guidance that allows future token-based ETFs to launch without the time-consuming 19B4 process, which could lead to dozens of new crypto ETFs rolling out in the coming months. Market structure is shifting too, with Wall Street and retail both front-running anticipated Fed rate cuts, while the Trump administration pushes for immediate and aggressive policy moves. And speaking about aggressive moves, the Trump team is now pushing what macro strategists are calling stealth yield curve control, shifting government borrowing towards short-term treasury bills instead of locking in higher rates with long-term debt. What does that actually mean for the rest of us? Imagine maxing out your credit card, but only ever paying the minimum each month, rolling over the balance again and again, hoping rates will stay low or become even lower. It feels safe in the moment, but if rates jump or lenders pull back, the risk comes due all at once. That's a trade-off. The government keeps interest costs down short-term, but stacks up risk underneath. This quiet shift is what people mean by stealth yield curve control, trying to hold down borrowing costs without calling it official Fed policy. Macro strategists warn this could hit the dollar and send even more money, it wasn't possible before, into gold and Bitcoin as investors look for something solid. When you see these moves happening at the same time as record ETF inflows and a wave of regulatory green lights, you realize this market is charged with potential. And I think some of you might have thought that these ETFs would eventually slow down. But as we've been telling you guys for a long time on the channel, this is just speeding up because as it's been out longer, it takes the more conservative folks who didn't trust the Bitcoin ETF when it came out and said, hey, Fred from BlackRock, give me a call back next year after I've had some time to suss out whether this ETF thing makes any sense for this Bitcoin magic internet money. And now that it's been a year, and now that these people have made money and that Bitcoin hasn't gone to zero, it just reinstills trust in the old money world that this is a sound asset. And so this is why we'll start to see even more acceleration. And now with 401ks and pensions allowed to come in, it's going to even increase faster. The speed of this cycle sets it apart. The S&P 500 just posted the fastest recovery ever from a 15% decline since the 1990s. Bitcoin is coiling up at all-time highs as a 50-day MA-EMA cluster acts as a springboard. Market analysts compare it to a ball being held underwater, primed for a breakout. You know what happens when you hold that ball underwater, right? And you let go, it pop! Glassnode data shows that long-term holders quietly accumulated an additional 1 million Bitcoin over the past 12 months. That's like an insane amount, right? 5% of the supply. But even more remarkable, public companies have now outbought ETFs and net Bitcoin for 3 quarters in a row. This is the Saylor contagion, right? This is Saylor going out and evangelizing. He is, you know how you have Mormons and everyone else who goes out and evangelizes? Saylor is doing this for Bitcoin and he's being very successful. Did you hear that? Public companies are now outbuying the ETFs. And that's only going to accelerate too. You know, just a couple years ago, we were all sitting there thinking about how great it would be if these ETFs came to be. And then they came and they were great. But nobody saw, I mean, we did see, we did talk about the fact that companies would put this on the balance sheet. But no, I don't think any of us expected what Saylor was going to be doing, how he was going to financially engineer that, and how he was going to go evangelize that message to other corporates. It has been a wildly successful strategy for him and others so far. Look at Metaplanet in Japan. It's just been unbelievable. And more are coming every single day. I mean, there's multiple that pop up every day. It's wild. The TradFi dominoes are falling one after another. Deutsche Bank, Germany's largest bank, once a huge skeptic of Bitcoin, just announced plans to launch crypto custody services in 2026 and is studying stablecoins and tokenized deposits with Bitpanda as its partner. Circle's gateway service will soon offer unified, chain-abstracted USDC balances, removing the need for pre-funding and enabling instant cross-chain liquidity for institutions. In practice, stablecoin issuers are now a key source of demand at Treasury auctions, US government debt and US government funding, right? This is really important. This is why the Genius Act is getting passed through at record speed, providing an indirect but powerful support for the entire liquidity cycle. The foundation for the next billion users are being laid by institutions, not just crypto native teams. Stablecoins is that first killer use case for crypto. I mean, Bitcoin is, if you will, as a digital store of gold value, but stablecoins are that mass app that everyone will be using over the next couple of years. And maybe you're thinking, is this where the suits take over and leave us behind? It's a great question. Big banks and institutions, even when they get bullish, they move like ocean liners, not speedboats. They need committees, legal reviews, board approvals, endless paperwork. Meanwhile, you and I, we can see the news and flip like this. We are the speedboats. We can turn on a dime. We can pivot, allocate, or rotate in a single click instantly. The real edge right now goes to those paying attention, moving with the market as it changes. That's why you watch this channel. We're reading the signals as they happen, giving you the playbook before Wall Street even gets a chance to act. So guys, if you got value from this video today and you're super bullish, the more likes that this video gets, the more Bitcoin will pump. I promise you that. So make sure you hit that like button, destroy that like button. If you're not a subscriber to the channel already, make sure that you do that. This is where all the alpha is happening, guys. This is the best channel in crypto. And guys, this agility that we just talked about, the speedboat analogy, it's about to matter more than ever because the next source of volatility is in the headlines, the tweets, and every twist in Washington. And this is going to matter a lot when altcoin season finally comes and we start seeing these things where we start seeing things like whiff, like we called before, or bonk, or whatever, which are going to pump 100x, and we're going to bring them to you guys really quickly. And guys, the political circus is driving volatility as much as monetary policy. Trump, in a media interview, floated the idea of putting Doge on Elon. This Elon-Trump thing is crazy. Blending meme culture with policy trolling and direct jabs at Musk. At the same time, polymarket betting odds on Elon launching his own political party surged past 40% following the America Party rumors. Every headline carries policy risk and the potential for sharp, unexpected market reactions. I'm curious, guys, what do you think? Like, Liz, seriously, I want to know. What do you think about America creating a new political party? I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great. I think we need someone in the middle, somewhere who is not super bound to the right or the left. And I think if Elon endorses because Elon can't become president, right? He's South African, but whoever he would endorse for the party would stand a real chance with that kind of power behind it to win, I think. We'll see. But let me know in the comments. I'm super curious. In this environment, timing and mindset matter more than ever. We're in a moment where everything can change overnight. That's why now is a time to step back and really look at where conviction meets opportunity. I need you guys to ask yourself, is this a bull trap or is this the best opportunity of your investing career? When conviction runs high, but price is stuck, you know a violent move is brewing. I'm not saying go all in on every crazy new ETF. I'm saying recognize the regime shift and act before the narrative becomes consensus. The best investment decisions that I've made were the ones that made me feel uncomfortable. Being early never feels easy. It feels like you're going against the tide. But if you know in your gut, or if you at least have a good educated guess and you build some sort of conviction, that's the best. The trap is thinking this is just another 4-year cycle. The new game, policy, flows, and political chaos are all converging right now. Money supply is about to go skyrocketing. If you ever wished you could go back in time and catch the first ETF, the first cycle, the first big breakout, this is your moment. You're probably asking, this sounds great, but what's the play here? You need to learn to read the signals and move before the crowd. Here is your 4-step macro supercycle checklist to make sure you're always a step ahead. 1, every day, pull up ETF dashboards and watch the flows. And remember, if you see something that's weird, like yesterday's Bitcoin ETF flows, go check velo.xyz/TradFi and see if you can find a reason for it. We did. And it doesn't scare us, right? We know now why there was outflows yesterday. Not because Wall Street's bearish, but because hedge fund managers are taking a trade. Check stablecoin supply on Glassnode or CryptoQuant. More stablecoins being minted, more our markets are likely to pump. Bookmark Polymarket and check the odds on pro-crypto regulation. When new ETFs launch with altcoin exposure, research the asset being included. These are the first to benefit from big money inflows. Don't sleep on the TradFi, TradBank moves. Deutsche Bank, Circle is now applying for a bank license, and the rest are laying the foundation for new capital inflows. Volatility is an opportunity, and if you're early, that's the playbook. And if you guys are wondering, Kyle, when are you just going to give me the altcoin plays? Trust me, I'm actively looking for opportunities, but until Bitcoin dominance rolls over, we have to be extremely selective as most altcoins underperform the king until that happens. I'm only adding selectively to blue chips that have proven they have what it takes to attract institutional money. And I'm working on building my own projects like Paid and Commonwealth that I believe are foundational infrastructure to this massive wave of new people entering the crypto market, the likes the world has never seen before. So that's where my main focus is, other than keeping you guys informed on this channel. And guys, don't forget that if you're looking for an exchange, if you're new here, if you don't have an exchange yet, there's a link down below to all my affiliate exchange links. It really helps the channel. I don't want to bring you guys a ton of, trust me, people, my inbox is full of people wanting me to pump their coin or talk about it. I don't want to do that, right? I want to bring you guys quality stuff that you can use and not distract you from the main prize. So it really helps the channel if you guys are using my exchange affiliate links to sign up. It helps the channel. It helps us get some revenue so I can pay the team. And it would mean a lot to me if you guys are looking for an exchange to use. BloFin is today's channel sponsor. They accept Americans, no KYC. You get $10 of free Bitcoin if you put $100 in your futures account. So go sign up over there. Awesome exchange. And if you guys sign up using any of my exchange affiliate links, then you get free access into the Telegram channel. And I know it's been a little quiet, but I believe that we're on the verge of being able to bring you guys some really great alpha there. So that will happen soon. Plus, I'll be doing some AMAs in there, just private AMAs for the Telegram group as well. So if you guys are signing up with exchange links, you'll be included into that group. I mean, I can't wait because the second that we start bringing alpha in there, that means that we're in altcoin season again. And that's when we get stupid rich. So guys, remember, stay sharp, stack your Satoshis, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.